It's Mechanical Monday. Time to press the gas, go fast, and make it last.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to try something different. It's a little windy out here. There's got cars going by and everything like that. So we're using the headpiece. Hopefully you guys get good audio feedback from it. Just something we're going to try since I do film most of my things for Mechanical Mondays outside. Today's video we're going to go over things to look for when buying a used vehicle. Behind me is my girlfriend's 2011 Ford Fiesta, and she bought it in 2011. She's had it since, and then I got a hold of it and things happened. Alright, it's broken. So she got pretty little stickers all over it and whatever. But we're gonna go over what to look for, what to stay away from. I'm not gonna start it up because there's a blow in the head gasket, so that's just gonna smoke out this entire parking lot. I don't want to do that. But we're gonna go over like mileage, things like that. This is for all levels, whether beginning, this is your first car you're buying, or whether this is a car you've been looking at forever. So first and foremost, do your research. So if you're looking at, let's say, a Ford Fiesta, you want to look at what years have what issues, because most manufacturers, I know with my Subaru, like the 2015, the first year of a new revision or edition of a car usually has the most problems that they have to work out. So like the 2015s, they had a lot of issues with like the AC not working properly. I know there was window squeaking and things like that, so just things to be aware of. 2011 Ford Fiesta, I don't think there's too many issues, but I don't know if the 2014, how it compares. So do your research if you're looking at whatever car. Check the year, check the mileage. So check around your, check on Car Gurus, like every website, dealerships, private sellers, whatever, because they're going to give you the mileage, they're going to give you the VIN, and with that vehicle's VIN, the vehicle identification number, you can put that in and do like a Carfax check. You can search to see if it's been in accidents, things of that nature. This car is really beat up cosmetically and obviously the engine wise. So those are just things to talk about. So first and foremost, you want to look at the exterior, because if you're going to pay a substantial amount of money, whatever, you don't want to be driving around a lemon. Unless you do and you want to save money, by all means do it that way too. But if we come around back here, I mean, you're looking at things like this. So obviously that's no bueno. Over here there's some minor scratches. This will buff out with some TLC, things like that. If we come around here, we come in close, we're starting to have a rust issue. There's a little rust bubble forming, which this would have to be completely, all of this bubbling part, you would have to come down all around it, sand it out, take care of it properly. Otherwise that rust will spread throughout the entire car. I mean, there's things like some minor scratches and things like that. While we're here, we're gonna go down to the brakes. So she's got drum brakes on here, and obviously this car has been sitting for like a year now. So all of it's rusted over. Because they're drum brakes, I believe that they'll still work, but you don't want to be driving on something, like you guys want to test drive your vehicles. So if you're going to pick up a vehicle, test drive it. You want to test drive in 3 different modes. You want to do moderate, like light driving, like, early morning commute, things like that, heavy traffic. You want to do a little bit more moderate, you got to get to a soccer practice, whatever you're running late for. And then you want to do some spirited driving in the test drive. You guys want to have a little fun with it, get on the gas just a little bit, open up the throttle. Because if you're gonna have issues then, you're gonna have issues when you're on the road. And the last thing you want to do is roll off in your nice new pretty little car, and then you get Mr. Rod knocking at your engine bay. So obviously still some cosmetic issues. Things happen. More rust there. This is completely dented in. Cosmetic issues you don't have to worry too much about. Obviously with this you'd have to replace the fender, you'd have to replace the bumper. You don't have to worry so much about cosmetic issues, but if this knocks the wheel out of alignment, things like that, then that's going to cause issues for you. You'd have to get it realigned, that's gonna, you know, cost you more money. So you don't want something that you're gonna have to dump a whole lot of more money into it. Things like that. Like it sucks too because we just replaced the windshield wipers and things like that. But so first is exterior. You definitely want to look at cosmetics. It's not the world's biggest thing in the world. You can get wraps, you can get paints, you can buff things out, you can replace fenders. It's just plastic. But if you see like rust, if you see bent frame wear, the frame is bent and things like that, stay away from it. It's been in an accident, and honestly, that's probably going to fall underneath a rebuilt title or a salvage title, and that's going to cause your insurance to go up. They might not even insure you depending on how badly it was salvaged, things like that. Next up is the interior. So it looks like a clean, normal interior, things like that. What you want to look for is when you get in here, oh God, I'm really cramping in here. You want to look for like cigarette holes and things like that up in this roof liner. See if the car has ever been smoked in before, things like that. If this is working, if it's got a little mirror, whatever. You just want to make sure everything's functioning. I generally stay away from cars that have been smoked in before because to me that says that the owner might not have might have neglected the car a little bit. But that's just judging people off of characteristics. I don't care if you smoke, but I'm just saying I wouldn't necessarily buy a car off you. This is an automatic transmission. You do want to try every single gear. It's not a standard, but you still want to try every single gear because if you put it in low and you hear grinding when you're getting it in those gears, it's an issue. Transmission's about to be shot. Mileage, I believe this one's sitting at like 78,000 miles, roundly 80,000 miles. She put a lot of miles on it. She got her use out of it, things like that. Also, when you guys are going to look at used cars, don't be afraid to get underneath it. You know, don't be afraid to inspect it. Like there's a lot of rust right here I can see. You know, shake the car a bit. If you start hearing things rattle, check the mounts, stuff like that. You know, you're going to potentially buy a car. If you have any sort of mechanical inclination, you might work on it yourself, which means jack points, lifting points, things like that. You really want to be careful because if you're not planning on doing the work yourself, you really don't have too much to worry about besides money. Which if you're in my age range, you know, 22 and 18 to 22 or 25, whatever, money's hard to come by unless you're like a trade stalker or you got a golden spoon in your mouth, something like that. So you really want to make sure that your investment in your daily vehicle is worth it. Also, like I said, ask questions. So if you're at the dealership or even if you're at a private, ask questions. How many owners before me? Can I take a few minutes to pull up the Carfax? Can I take it for a test drive? You know, was this ever garage kept? Was it just out in the open? Was it stored for long periods of time sitting? When was the last time it was the maintenance on it? When was the last time the oil changed? Things like that. Ask them too. How often did you guys change the oil if it's a private seller? Higher mileage, anywhere between 3 to 6, I think is a good mileage for oil changes. But that's just a long video summed up really quickly of what to look for when buying a used vehicle. If you guys want to see a part 2 or if you feel as if I didn't touch on something, definitely let me know in the comments below. If you guys want to hear more of me or interact more, follow my Twitch. It'll also be dropped down below. And we'll see you on the next one.